What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. And in this video, it happened. That's how I'm gonna start things off. It's happened, and for those of you that are unaware, the Vancouver Canucks made a trade technically yesterday. It was yesterday afternoon. I was at work when this trade went down, so I wasn't able to react to it as quickly as I would have liked. But it's happened, and the Vancouver Canucks have traded Arturs Silovs to the Pittsburgh Penguins for a prospect and a fourth-round pick. Obviously, the last several weeks, it's been known that Arturs Silovs was the odd man out when it comes to the Canucks' goaltending situation, and that it was essentially inevitable that Silovs was going to be moved. Obviously, a lot of Canucks fans were not happy about that because, especially after Arturs Silovs helped the Abbotsford Canucks go on to win a Calder Cup. He was the Calder Cup MVP of the playoffs, and it just really sucks that this is how things had to go down. But before we dive into an article that talks about this trade, I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of that incredible artwork you see there behind me. And you guys can get yourselves your own artwork by checking them out at GassyJackArt.com. You can also find him on Instagram at GassyJackArt. He still has his end of season sale going on where you can buy 2 prints and get 2 additional prints for free. So check him out, GassyJackArt.com. So let's go ahead and dive right into this article, written by our friends at Canucks Army, written by Tyson Cole, and it goes on to state, the Vancouver Canucks announced on Sunday that goaltender Arturs Silovs has been traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for forward Chase Stillman and a 2027 fourth-round pick. It became apparent that the Canucks likely had to part ways with Silovs after his heroic efforts en route to Abbotsford's Calder Cup championship. The Latvian netminder finished the postseason run with a 16-7 record, with a 2.01 goals against average and a .931 save percentage with 5 shutouts. 3 of his perfect games came in some of the biggest moments. Game 3 against the Tucson Roadrunners, which was an elimination game. Game 4 against the Coachella Valley Firebirds, which was also an elimination game. And Game 5 against the Colorado Eagles, which was a elimination game as well. So that was not 1, not 2, but 3 elimination games that Arturs Silovs was perfect. But none of his playoff success should come as a surprise considering what he did to help Vancouver last spring. With an injured Thatcher Demko and Casey DeSmith, Silovs stepped in and did not disappoint. The 6'4" goaltender won his first NHL postseason start against the Nashville Predators in Game 4 and followed that up with a 28 save shutout performance in Game 6 to advance the Canucks to the second round of the playoffs. General Manager Patrick Allvin had this to say about Silovs after the move. We would like to thank Arturs for everything he has done for the hockey club, including helping Abbotsford win the Calder Cup, said Allvin. We wanted to give him an opportunity elsewhere as we feel we are very well positioned in goal at the NHL, AHL, and developmental level. Acquiring a future pick and a depth forward will add to our organizational depth. Chase Stillman, brother of former Canuck Ryan Stillman, is a 2021 first-round pick of the New Jersey Devils. The right winger played for the Peterborough Petes in the Ontario Hockey League, making his biggest impact in his final season there in 2022/2023. Stillman scored 19 goals and 48 points in 59 games. He also added 4 goals and 13 points in 21 postseason games. With Stillman's help, the Petes went on to win the OHL championship and represent the league in the Memorial Cup. The 22-year-old forward has not yet blossomed in the American League, though through his 2 seasons, Stillman has played 119 games, scoring 18 goals and 36 points. Last season was exceptionally difficult, where he split the season between the Utica Comets and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, scoring just 4 goals and 12 points in 65 games. Now let's take a look at Arturs Silovs on Elite Prospects here. There we go. Arturs Silovs. Just for those who are not aware of who Arturs Silovs is, he is a 24-year-old Latvian tender, born March 22nd, 2001. 6'4", as we mentioned, 203 pounds, catches left, and he was drafted back in 2019, so 6 years ago, in the 6th round, 156th overall by the Vancouver Canucks. Looking down at his seasons, he played his hang on. Here we go. So in 2021, 2022, he played 10 games in Abbotsford with a 3.10 goals against average. He also played one game in 2020, 2021 for the Manitoba Moose as a loan with a 2.07 goals against average and a .920 save percentage. That one game he played, he lost. And then he went on, as we mentioned, to play 10 games in Abbotsford in the 21-22 season with a 3.10 goals against average and a .888 save percentage with a 3-6 record. Moving down to the 2022-2023 season with the Vancouver Canucks, he played 5 games with a 2.75 goals against average and a .908 save percentage and a 3-2 record. With the Abbotsford Canucks, he played 44 games with a 2.44 goals against average and a .909 save percentage and a 26-12-5 record, along with 4 shutouts that season. And in the playoffs, he played 2 games with a 2.85 goals against average and a .914 save percentage and a 1-1 record. Moving down to 2023-2024, for the Vancouver Canucks, he played 4 games with a 2.47 goals against average and a .881 save percentage. He went 3-0-1 and played 10 playoff games. And this was the year that these were the playoffs that Arturs Silovs came alive. 10 playoff games, a 2.991 goals against average and a .898 save percentage, 1 shutout, and a 5-5 record. That season with Abbotsford, he played 34 games with a 2.74 goals against average and a .907 save percentage with 4 shutouts and a 16-11-6 record. The 24-25 season with the Vancouver Canucks, he played 10 games with a 3.65 goals against average and a .861 save percentage with a 2-6-1 record. That was obviously a rough season for Arturs Silovs, and he was coming off of that incredible playoff run, and he just couldn't translate it to the NHL level. At least he couldn't carry that success over and continue it during the season, so he essentially fell out of favor with the Vancouver Canucks. Because of that, he went back down to Abbotsford, played 21 games with a 2.41 goals against average, a .908 save percentage, and a 14-5-2 record. And then you have the playoffs, this past playoff run. 24 games, a 2.01 goals against average, and a .931 save percentage, 5 shutouts, and a 16-7 record in the Abbotsford Calder Cup run. He ends up, as we mentioned, being the Calder Cup MVP. He leads the Abbotsford Canucks to the Calder Cup, and it's really hard to think, after that 23-24 playoff run that Arturs Silovs went on, and not just the playoff run, but that season, despite him having only played 4 games, 3-0-1 record, playoffs, a 5-5 record. He really stepped up for the Canucks in the playoffs. Who would have thought just 2 years later, Arturs Silovs, after that incredible run in the NHL playoffs, he would be traded 2 years later. Or essentially 2 seasons later, he would be traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I, for one, did not see that coming 2 years ago during that magical playoff run when the Audi party officially began for the Vancouver Canucks. I did not see two seasons later that he would be dealt and that he would no longer be a part of this organization and that he would no longer be a Canuck. So obviously my initial reaction to the trade was surprise, not because of him being dealt. It was just I was not expecting it on a Sunday or this soon. I figured maybe they'd wait till maybe closer to training camp just to see how Demko's health is going. But I guess the Canucks wanted to get this business out of the way, and that is why they pulled the trigger on Sunday and did this trade. Let's talk a little bit about Chase Stillman. Let me look up Chase Stillman real quick. Stillman. Just so we can, kind of like get an idea on who Chase Stillman is. I know we talked a little bit about him in that article, but you have Chase Stillman, 22 years old, born March 19, 2003. He's a winger, 6'1", 185 pounds. He was born in St. Louis, but he is classified as a dual citizenship. So Canada and the US. I don't know if that's actual like citizenship, but he's played for Team Canada. Shoots right, drafted in 2021 in the first round, 29th overall by the New Jersey Devils. And this is what the NHL draft guide from 2021 reads about Stillman. Call it motor or energy or engagement or drive. Stillman has it. He is willing to go above and beyond, willing to play whatever role needed to the maximum of his ability to give his team the win. He knows when to go after to try and retrieve it, and will head to the best areas of the ice to get a scoring chance off. Looking down in 2018-2019 for the Sudbury Wolves minor midget AAA, played 24 games, 19 goals, 36 assists, 55 points. And then in the 2019-2020 season for the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL, that first one was the GNML. So this one, the Sudbury Wolves OHL, 58 games, 13 goals, 21 assists, 34 points. Then moving down to his next season with the Sudbury Wolves in 2021-2022, he played 24 games, 9 goals, 11 assists. And then his first season with the Peterborough Petes, or that same season, rather, I should say, played 35 games, 10 goals, 19 assists, 29 points. And then 4 playoff games where he had just one assist. Right? Yeah. Then his second season with the Peterborough Petes, 59 games, 19 goals, 29 assists, 48 points. And then he had 21 playoff games, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. And then he would move on to the Utica Comets in 23-24, 54 games, 14 goals, 10 assists, 24 points. His next season with the Utica Comets, 46 games played, 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points. And then after that same season, he would be traded to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, playing 19 games, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points, and then 2 playoff games where he didn't register a point. And now this upcoming season, he will likely be on the Abbotsford Canucks as a depth option. But that is Chase Stillman. And yeah, so Arturs Silovs is no longer a Vancouver Canuck. Obviously, as I mentioned, I was obviously a big fan of Arturs Silovs, and especially after that miracle run with the Vancouver Canucks last year, and then obviously this run with Abbotsford this year. For those of you that have, followed along with this channel, you guys know I extensively covered the Abbotsford Calder Cup run and got to know a lot of the players, just by, doing my videos on them and doing my recaps on the games. I learned a lot more about the Abbotsford players. Obviously, I already kind of knew about Silovs due to his run with the Vancouver Canucks, and just seeing him play and seeing him just absolutely dominate during this playoff run, and then seeing, hearing the chants RD RD RD, and then him winning the MVP, this just really sucks that it came to this, that the Canucks were forced to do this. Sure, the Canucks did this to themselves by re-signing Demko, signing Lankinen long term, and then signing guys like Ty Young, Asku Koskinvu, and then signing Alexei Medvedev as well. I do feel as though Medvedev's signing him to that ELC was the nail in the coffin when it came to Arturs Silovs. Some will say it was the Demko extension that was the final nail in the coffin. I think it was Medvedev that was the official. And considering that happened only a few days ago, and then a few days later, Arturs Silovs ends up being traded. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this trade. What do you think about the return? Obviously, a lot of people are saying that this was a very good return for the Vancouver Canucks. A lot of people figured Silovs would just get a draft pick in return, but the Canucks were able to get a 4th-round pick. Granted, it is a 2027 4th-round pick, and they also got a prospect in return, because a lot of people were saying Silovs his value is only a 4th or 5th-round pick. So I do believe this is a good trade on both sides. Pittsburgh gets a very young goaltender, and I know he's going to do wonders in Pittsburgh. I wish Artie nothing but the best, and I hope he can officially become a number 1 goalie for Pittsburgh. It's just when we face Pittsburgh and Artie happens to be in the net, I won't be pulling for you. So, but obviously this sucks. Silovs had become a fan favorite. Everyone loved the Artie parties. I hope Pittsburgh is ready for an Artie party after acquiring him. And a lot of people also said this was a better return than trades for guys like Caden Primo and Daniil Tarasov, who got less in return than what Arturs Silovs got. And I would say they have more NHL experience than Arturs Silovs, which is, mind-blowing a little bit. But as I mentioned, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this trade. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not like it? Do you guys feel as though the Canucks put themselves in this kind of predicament with having to trade a young goaltender like Arturs Silovs? And do you feel as though maybe they did him a little dirty by trading him away after what he did for Abbotsford? Again, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can find us on social media and interact with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X at Line Change Van. You can find us on TikTok at the TLC Podcast. You can also find us on Blue Sky at The Line Change. And feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. You can find us, if you prefer a audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. That's going to do it for me in this video. And as always, whose game is it? With everybody saying, go Canucks, go. Yeah.